The New York Knicks defeated the Indiana Pacers 106 to 100. And I have to say, this game was a thrilling game. Just like the first two games, it continued the trend of just ridiculous heroics on both ends of the floor. Like the ending was insane, and it's like both teams are playing like they're bipolar. I feel at times that they get leads, they throw them away, they can't finish when it really matters. The Knicks have been that team the first two games, and now it was Indiana's turn to have a choke fest, and they choked hard tonight against the Knicks. This was kind of like a role reversal now. So at the start of the game, it seemed like everything that could go right for Indiana was going right. They were shooting great in the first half of this game. They were just killing the Knicks. At one point in time in the second quarter, they were up by 20 points, and it looked like the Knicks' season was in jeopardy. That they were going to go down 3-0, and that there was just no chance of them coming back. It looked really bleak for the Knicks. On top of that, Jalen Brunson had four fouls by halftime. So you're thinking like this is not going to end well. But I do think there was a key stretch in that second quarter when they were down by 20 that they were able to go on a small run to finish the second quarter to only be down by 13. I think that was very crucial. If the Pacers could have just finished stronger and pushed the lead from 20 to 25 or 27, they would have definitely won this game. And I think they'll look back at that second quarter, just the ending of the second quarter, as a crucial period of time in which they blew in this game, and possibly if they don't win this series, they'll look back at those final several minutes of the second quarter at at it costing them possibly the series if they lose. They'll definitely reflect on it. This was a heartbreaking loss for the Pacers, I would say for sure. Granted, they're still up 2-1, but they gave the Knicks life. They gave the Knicks hope. And it'll be interesting to see how game four plays out. But going back to the Knicks, everything that could go wrong for them was going wrong. This was like Murphy's Law. Nothing was going right for them in the first half. That Jalen Brunson had four fouls, and I think Cat also had four fouls in the first half. So it was a very difficult situation for the Knicks. Like, you're down by 20, things are not going well, your star players are in foul trouble, that they could have easily quit in this game. They could have easily given up and just been ready to go to Cancun, but they showed a lot of resilience in battling back to finish the second quarter only down by 13, and then in the fourth quarter just fighting tooth and nail to stay in the game, to give themselves a chance to win the game. Like, they cut the lead down to 10 by the end of the third quarter, and it really was the fourth quarter in which they started going a great run. That was triggered by Cat. For three quarters, Cat was crap. But the fourth quarter, he was ridiculous. He scored 20 points in the fourth quarter. 20 out of the 36 points by the Knicks in the fourth quarter were by Cat. He was huge. Just epic in this game when it came to carrying the Knicks in that fourth, hitting a lot of clutch shots, clutch baskets. Like, he was incredible. He finished the game with 24 points, 15 rebounds. So if you had to pick a player of the game for the Knicks, he would definitely be that guy. I would say the other guys in this game that were really big, it may not show in the box scores, but I would say Mikal Bridges and OG, their defense was amazing. They were playing suffocating defense. They forced the Indiana Pacers into a lot of bad possessions, especially in the fourth quarter, forcing shot clock violations, desperate threes, and just keying in on the Pacers and not allowing them to have an open three. That every three I felt was contested in that fourth quarter, and a huge part of that has to do with those two guys. Their incredible switching and just never give up attitude in defense. That it was amazing to watch. So respect to them, especially just OG. That one block he had on Neesmith was pretty funny, but it just shows you that these guys wanted it that badly. Also, give credit to Josh Hart. He was huge off the bench, 8 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. That he was big for them off the bench. Another guy I would say that was huge off the bench, and it won't show in the box scores, is DeLon Wright. He only had 2 points, but he was hustling all over the place. He was playing aggressive, and he was diving for loose balls, just scrambling. This guy made an impact, even though it doesn't show. You could just by his rotations, he was great out there. And Miles McBride was huge, also off the bench, hitting some important shots for the Knicks. But it was a collective team effort by the Knicks as a whole that they played with a lot of heart, especially not having Brunson for most of the fourth quarter because he had 5 fouls and just playing just desperate, aggressive, being super resilient. The Knicks were big. If you're a Knicks fan, you have to be proud of this effort. This was a great effort, and I have to say that their defense this game was amazing. If you look at the box score, one of the keys I mentioned in my other video about how the Knicks can get back in the series was getting better at their 3-point defense and getting Indiana to shoot below 40%, which they weren't able to do the first 2 games. In this game, Indiana shot 20% from three, 5 of 25. That was huge. That to me got them the game. That they were able to finally get them to shoot poorly from three, and they were able to win. They were also able to force Indiana to turn the ball over a little bit more than the first 2 games they had played. Indiana game 1 had 7 turnovers, game 2 10 turnovers, game 3 12 turnovers. Just getting a few more makes a difference in a tightly contested game. And this game, it definitely made a big difference. I would say Another big thing for Knicks was Coach Tibbs. He experimented with playing the bench, going with different combinations, starting Mitch Robinson with Cat to start the game, experimenting and doing desperate things, which I do believe you have to do when you're in the situation that he may have saved his job and the Knicks season by making his coaching moves tonight. So you got to respect that. Now, is this series over for the Pacers? I wouldn't say so. The Pacers still have control of the series, but the pressure definitely shifts on them for game 4. I feel to win the series, they have to win game 4. Game 4 is a must win by them. If the Knicks win game 4, then the Knicks will take control of the series. And I believe they'll win the series if if the Knicks get game 4. So Pacers have to win game 4. They can't get complacent. And I think game 4 will be very entertaining. I expect it to be close, just like these first 3 games that will come down to the wire. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think it's going to be very exciting, but I don't have anything else to say about this game.